The man seen in this clip is often referred to as the most twisted individual in Britain. Please watch the rest of the video to find out why. In April 2019, Joseph McCann, a violent offender with a long criminal history, was mistakenly released from prison due to a legal loophole. Within days of his release, he began a horrific 2-week crime spree, abducting, raping and assaulting multiple victims across England. McCann was very well known to police. He had a criminal record dating back to his teens, including burglary, robbery and violent offences. In 2008, he was sentenced to an indeterminate imprisonment sentence for a violent home invasion, meaning he should only be released when he was deemed no longer a threat to society. But in 2019, following sentencing reforms, McCann was freed on a technicality. Within days he returned to his criminal ways, violating his probation, but shockingly he was not recalled to prison, a critical mistake that would allow him to go on to be one of the worst criminals in the UK. McCann's attacks began on April 21st, 2019, in Watford. He spotted a 21-year-old woman walking alone and then he forced her into his car at knife point. He then drove her to a secluded area where he subjected her to repeated sexual assaults before releasing her. Days later, on April 25th, he struck again, but this time in North London. He broke into her home where he attacked a 25-year-old woman and their 71-year-old mother. He tied them up, sexually assaulted them, and then forced them into his car. He drove them to a hotel where the abuse continued before he abandoned them and moved on to his next victims. By this point, police had identified McCann, but he was always one step ahead of them. Over the next few days, he travelled across England, targeting victims at random. In one of his most shocking attacks, he abducted 2 14-year-old girls in Congleton, Cheshire, forcing them into his car. He told them he was a monster and that they would be harmed if they tried to escape. At one point, he picked up a woman who had just left a nightclub, pretending to be a good Samaritan and offering her a ride home. Instead, he drove her to a field and assaulted her for hours. His youngest victim was just 11 years old. He forced the boy to watch as he attacked his 17-year-old sister. McCann was a real-life monster. He showed no emotion or remorse throughout his spree, bragging to his victims that the police would never catch him. He frequently switched locations, used stolen cars, and relied on random attacks to avoid detection. However, by early May, a nationwide manhunt was underway. Officers tracked him to Cheshire, where he led police on a high-speed chase. Even after crashing his car, he tried to escape, running through gardens and attempting to hijack another vehicle, and even climbing a tree to hide. But it was over. He was finally caught and arrested. I will now play you some footage of the high-speed police chase.
Coming down the 5 Street.
Let me go. That's yours. 8-6, urgent. Hands off, mate, hands off. Oh, crash. Why can't I get...
At his trial in December 2019, McCann was found guilty of 37 offences, including kidnap, rape, false imprisonment and sexual assault. The judge referred to him as a classic psychopath, stating he had no regard for human life. McCann was subsequently sentenced to 33 life sentences, with a minimum of 30 years before he can even be considered for release. In my opinion, that seems kind of short for what he did. The case sparked outrage, not just because of the crimes, but because McCann should have never been released from prison. A review revealed that probation officers failed to recall him to prison, missing multiple chances to stop him before this terrible spree began. This led to major reforms in how dangerous offenders are monitored. I'd like to offer my condolences to the victims, and I sincerely hope something like this never ever happens again. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, comment and subscribe, as it really helps the growth of the channel.